Charleston.
Good morning, Charleston. It's Thursday, February 24th. I'm Evan Kelly.
And I'm Laura Harris. Thanks so much for starting your morning off with us.
And we'll begin with Dave Williams from the Weather Center. Another cold start on the drive-in this morning. Dave, will we see some of that warm weather we had earlier this week? Will that come back?
Yeah, definitely a little bit chilly as you head out the door, so you're going to want to grab the jacket. But later on today, gorgeous weather this weekend, guys.
All right, thank you, Dave. We're expecting a decision just hours from now in a coal controversy in Colleton County.
A zoning board will decide half hour in a live report.
Governor Nikki Haley wants the rail battle in North Charleston to end soon. The governor says she's trying to attract companies to the state and keeps getting questions about the port. A big problem lies with the Commerce Department and North Charleston, who are at odds over which rail plan should connect to the new port terminal. For more on the ongoing debate, head to abcnews4.com, keyword rail.
That's suspect.
And that was actually the second pharmacy robbery of the day and the third in just 2 weeks. We're told an armed suspect stole the same drug, Oxycontin, from the Plantation Pharmacy on James Island yesterday afternoon. There's no good description of this suspect either. This all comes after cops released a sketch of a man who robbed the Plantation Pharmacy on Wapoo Road earlier this month. Detectives are still working to find out if these robberies are connected. Well, money meant to help the sons and daughters of Pearl Harbor is swiped from a West Ashley home during a yard sale. The owner says she was trying to raise money for veterans, wounded soldiers, and war survivors. The money was in a safe labeled Veterans Donations inside the home when it disappeared earlier this month. So far, no arrests have been made.
Residents on
Myrtle Beach is shutting the door on a similar plan that would raise the price of parking. In the past, they talked about raising fees by a quarter, but decided against it. Instead, they will extend meter hours in some areas until midnight. The hope is to use the extra money for landscaping and other improvements.
Trident Technical College is moving east of the Cooper.
The college announced a new Mount Pleasant campus that could open as early as this fall. ABC News 4's Valencia Wicker reports.
What kinds of jobs?
ABC News 4.
And that site will be the fourth Trident campus in the Low Country. A detailed schedule of courses will be announced later this spring.
All right, well, in other news, the numbers are in and they are big.
Yeah, we're talking about last weekend's Southeastern Wildlife Expo. We're told attendance was up 26% with 40,000 people enjoying these exhibits. Sales were up as well, with both souvenir and refreshment sales seeing significant increases.
Very cool.
Big numbers there, yeah.
It was a lot of people, I can tell you that, so.
Always good.
Very cool. All right, well, coming up, clearing another hurdle. The big change you could see come voting day. That's straight ahead.
Then inside the mind of a child prodigy, why their talent may not be the true mystery. That's ahead on GMC. Now the story's making news right now. A bill that would require South Carolina voters to show photo ID at the polls is one step closer to passing. State senators gave the bill a second reading Wednesday, leaving just one more vote before heading to the House. The senators amended the bill to exempt those who are 65 and older from having to get IDs to vote. The new measure would leave most of the absentee voting law unchanged. Well, funding for South Carolina charter schools is up for debate in the State House this week. The House Ways and Means Committee approved a bill that would give $25 million to state charter schools. Currently, the state has 40 charter schools. Only 11 are currently in the state charter school districts funded by state and federal money, but not local money. Republican Rick Santorum is getting some heat for a statement he made while in South Carolina on Monday. The politician, who may run for president, compared union supporters to drug addicts during a speech in Spartanburg. He said Wisconsin protesters are, quote, acting like their drug is being taken away. Santorum has yet to officially announce his bid for president, but is expected to soon. Well, the Space Shuttle Discovery is all set to make its final flight. It's on the pad down in Florida as we speak, with launch set for 4:50 this afternoon. The 6-person crew is delivering a module to the International Space Station. Today could mark the end of several delays that have kept the mission on the ground for months. Those are stories we are following right now. We will have more throughout the day on air and online at abcnews4.com. Laura, back to you.
Thanks, Evan. Well, the Obama.
More rain on Monday and then kind of back to average by the middle of next week. Plenty of sunshine and those highs in the lower to mid 60s, guys.
All right, looks good.
I like it.
Well, we all stand in wonder at kids who seem to be born with a whole universe of talent.
It seems the secret is not what they do, but what they, for some reason, can't stop. ABC's John Berman reports.
The old joke goes,
Carnegie Hall. I used to practice a lot.
That
And I
what?
never was that good, the violin.
That's
I
right.
was decent, but
Yeah.
lucky ducks.
Yeah, you know what? Those kids got talent. All right, we'll head on GMC Retirement Roundup.
More and more people making it a point to squirrel money away for that rainy day. We're even tracking a 10-year high. That's next in your ABC Money Scope.
Then new at 5:30, the average South Carolina gas price right now in the Low Country location selling it for 10 cents less.
From WCIV, this is ABC News 4's Good Morning Charleston.
Good morning. It's Thursday, February 24th. I'm Evan Keller.
And I'm Laura Harris here with meteorologist Dave Williams. And Dave, how's that weather looking this morning?
A little chilly this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wore a little jacket.
But the
you're
best part is it'll probably warm up, right?
Oh, it's definitely going to warm up, even better than what we saw yesterday. So grab the jacket for the morning commute. This afternoon, you'll be shedding those jackets for the short sleeves. Here's a look at what we've got, guys.
All right, thank you, Dave. Well, tonight we could finally reach the end of a hotly contested debate.
Yeah, it's pitting a power company against the public, and some worry health could be hanging in the balance.
ABC News 4's Josh Cass, who is following the developing controversy in Colleton County. Josh, good morning.
Good morning, Evan. Many expect the we want that information later in Good Morning Charleston, guys.
All right, thank you, Josh, and we'll be following this story all day for you. In the meantime, give us your take. Should SCE&G be allowed to build that facility, or should neighbors get their way? Leave us a comment on Facebook. You'll find us by searching for Good Morning Charleston.
Well, that pink on the homepage.
Well, a lot of you have probably already tackled those dreaded taxes, but if you're expecting a refund this spring, you've got a big decision on your hands. Will you join the spenders or the savers? Karen Kafa looks at the options for you new this morning.
No pain, no gain. For millions of Americans, crunching numbers will lead to a tax refund. Last year, Uncle Sam gave out refunds totaling about $328 billion, an average of $3,003 per taxpayer. What to do with that mini windfall? A survey from the National Retail Federation finds more Americans looking to splurge this year than last. 13.2% will make a big ticket purchase like a big screen TV, up from 12.5% in 2010. 11.9% will use it for a vacation. But an overwhelming number of consumers remain cautious. 41.9% will use it to pay off debt. Not a bad idea, especially if there's a high interest rate involved. Another option, put the money in a long-term savings plan like a college or retirement fund. The IRS will allow you to directly deposit your refund into multiple accounts. And if you're expecting a really big refund, consider adjusting your withholding so you can spread the wealth across an entire year of paychecks. After all, a refund isn't exactly found money, it's your money. You've just been letting the government hold on to it.
All right. Well, a driver of a special needs bus in Georgetown is charged with assault and battery this morning. Police say 58-year-old Gertrude Hamilton, who grabbed a special needs student by the throat last month. As for the video camera on that bus, well, investigators say the video camera was not working at the time.
We now know the name of a man killed in a motorcycle accident. We're told 21-year-old Devon Jenkins was not wearing a helmet when he was killed on Ashley Phosphate Road in North Charleston. The Highway Patrol says a car pulled out from Hunters Ridge Lane in front of the motorcycle around 1:30 yesterday afternoon. The crash does remain under investigation. A small South Carolina town has adopted an abused dog. Now, Buddy was found tied to a tree with a cord growing into his neck.
But as Susan Elizabeth Littlefield reports, Buddy's gotten a second chance and is now a top dog.
And the mayor is hoping Buddy can be a poster puppy of sorts.
Proving the town will crack down on animal abuse when it happens.
Yeah.
That's a sad, sad story. All right, well, coming up this half hour, the hits and the misses, the fashion faux pas that are impossible to forget on the Oscar red carpet.
But first, history for the Space Shuttle Discovery. Why today's launch is so special. Straight ahead. Welcome back. It's shaping up to be an exciting day for NASA.
The live pictures will give you a sense of what we're talking.
For Good Morning Charleston, I'm Andy Rose.
Blasting off to space. Would you like to go to space?
No, that's one thing. It's okay that I don't.
Yeah, it'd be cool for like 5 minutes, and then it'd be like, okay,
And you
I'm
can't
getting
just
kind
come
of-
back down.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home now. This is kind of claustrophobic up here. All right, well, here's a preview of what's ahead in sports with John Nugent.
Wake up, it's a beautiful
Welcome to the Morning Buzz. Well, Lindsay Lohan's fate is in her own hands now. She can plead guilty or no contest and go to jail, or take her chances and go to trial. That's what a judge in Los Angeles told the actress yesterday.
I'm over it. Lohan is charged with grand theft for leaving a jewelry store with a $2,500 necklace. This is the same necklace that she was allegedly right there seen wearing just days after it went missing from that store. I'm sorry. I'm over it. And I think a lot of people are as well. She can't stay out of trouble.
Yeah, I guess we just want resolution, maybe. Or
Bars might be the thing.
Maybe people want her, to go to jail. I don't know.
There you go. All right, I don't know. Well, long after the red carpet is rolled up, America will be talking about the best and worst dress at the Oscars, the standouts among the stars.
ABC's Diana Alviar takes us back in time to take a look at Oscars' fascination with fashion.
On a night when the stars... Diana Alviar, ABC News, Hollywood.
We'll have to wait and see. There's always something.
I can't wait. That's
Always.
my favorite part of that show. It really is.
Is the fashion?
No, I'm kidding.
I could tell. Believe
Guys
me,
don't
we all
notice
could
that.
tell.
Guys are like, it's a dress. It's nice. The January Jones, quite impressive dress she had on there. And hard to pull off, like they said. All right, stay with us. We got your morning headlines coming up.
From WCIV, this is ABC News 4's Good Morning Charleston.
Good morning, Charleston. It's Thursday, February 24th. I'm Evan Kelly.
And I'm Laura Harris. Thanks so much for starting your day off with us. And we'll begin with Dave Williams in the Weather Center. Dave, it seems like it might be jacket weather for those kids at the bus stop this morning.
One tomorrow and then another one Monday, but that leaves time for the weekend to be absolutely gorgeous, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you, Dave. We're expecting a decision just hours from now in a coal controversy in Colleton County.
A zoning board will decide if SCE&G can build a coal ash facility.
Governor Nikki Haley wants the rail battle in North Charleston to end soon. The governor says she's trying to attract companies to the state and keeps getting questions about the port. A big problem lies with the Commerce Department and North Charleston, which are at odds over which rail plan should connect the port to the new terminal.
I just want her in getting it resolved, and so we're in talks now.
For more on the ongoing debate, head to abcnews4.com, keyword rail.
Now to a crime suspect, and that was actually the second pharmacy robbery of the day, the third in just 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, we're told an armed suspect stole the same drug, Oxycontin, from the Plantation Pharmacy on James Island yesterday afternoon. There is no description of the suspect either. This all comes after police released a sketch of a man who robbed the Plantation Pharmacy on Wapoo Road earlier this month. Detectives are still working to find out if the robberies are connected. Well, money meant to help the sons and daughters of Pearl Harbor is swiped from a West Ashley home during a yard sale. The owner says she was trying to raise money for veterans, wounded soldiers, and war survivors. The money was in a safe labeled Veterans Donations inside the home when it disappeared earlier this month. So far, no arrests have been made.
Residents are pondering parking problems on the Isle of Palms, and last night they got their say.
The city's planning commission held a public forum to discuss ways to balance the needs of residents and tourists. Homeowners say a lack of regulations causes traffic, trash, and safety concerns. They want things like expanded metered parking or even resident parking permits.
I was very pleased with the turnout tonight. I really feel that we're trying our best to make this a place that's enjoyable for not only the residents but the visitors too.
The commission plans to take feedback from the meeting and develop a plan that city council can vote on.
Myrtle Beach is shut. Well, the numbers are in and they are big.
Yeah, we're talking about last weekend's Southeastern Wildlife Expo. We're told attendance was up 26% with 40,000 people enjoying the exhibits. Sales were up as well with both souvenir and refreshment sales seeing significant increases. So definitely an event that brings great revenue and great people to the Low Country.
Sounds good. All right, well, coming up, breaking news from overseas, how the U.S. is planning to step in on the unrest in Libya.
Then flabby felines and pudgy pooches. The epidemic sweeping across America and the one minor change you can make to keep that pet healthy and happy.
Going to see a shadow, guys.
All right, thank you, Dave. It's been a busy few weeks for South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley.
And we're told she'll be back at it today. The governor plans to hold a press conference this afternoon at the...
Meantime, Governor Haley continues to add to her cabinet. The governor has named Chad Waldorf as chairman of the Board of Economics Advisors. Waldorf, the co-founder of the Sticky Fingers restaurant chain, was previously vice chairman of Haley's transition team. He was also Governor Mark Sanford's deputy chief of staff for 2 years.
And it's been nearly a month. ABC News 4 tonight at 6 o'clock.
The unrest in Egypt is being felt right here in the Low Country. It's an outrage of violence worrying those of Egyptian descent here in Charleston and fearing for loved ones caught in the middle. The number of riot-related deaths is over 80, and some 2,000 others have been hurt in protest. Those we spoke to say this is not the country they know and love.
Loot their store.
Protesters say they are tired of the current administration in Egypt. Coming up this half hour, the new developments this morning and what the country is doing to quiet a massive march planned for today.
A Somerville man is now accused of life in prison.
We're getting an up-close look at the North Charleston cop police say drove drunk and crashed his own cruiser. The Highway Patrol says Nicholas Loma was found in a ditch off Bennett's Point Road in Colleton County around 1:30 Saturday morning. The North Charleston Police Department released a statement about the arrest yesterday saying, quote, effective January 31st, 2011, Nicholas A. Loma is no longer employed by the City of North Charleston Police Department. Mr. Loma was employed with the department since June 2008.
A Somerville family of the fire is still under investigation.
A man is recovering this morning after being shot outside a Dorchester County club. It happened early Sunday morning in the parking lot of Club Envy just outside Somerville. Police tell us the victim refused to cooperate, but according to a police report, the victim's wife says her ex-boyfriend shot her husband. No arrests have been made. Well, if you've noticed a lot of smoke in the air recently, you're probably not alone. The South Carolina Forestry Commission says there were 114 wildfires statewide this past weekend alone. More than 540 acres burned, including a big patch of land in Colleton County. The fire was enough to cause nearly $100,000 in damage. Officials say burning debris led to most of the fires.
Well, it's a first for the Palmetto State.
That's right, turning animal waste into a source of renewable energy. It has people in what you might call hog heaven. Friendly Clairvaux has our story.
4 years ago, the Lily Friendly.
All right, well, there you go. Uh-huh.
We have to talk. We were just talking about. That is amazing. I've never heard of such. So
yeah.
I guess, like I said, it's the first of its kind. So we'll
see what happens with that. Yeah, if that will catch on. I don't know. All right, up next, on a mission.
NASA trying to get.
Welcome back. Making news overnight, a law that would further prevent illegal immigrants in South Carolina from getting unemployment checks. It's up for debate in Columbia today. The bill would require South Carolina's unemployment agency to verify that laid-off workers are in the country legally. It would also require the agency to screen applicants using the federal program E-Verify. A House subcommittee will debate the bill today. Well, the Space Shuttle Discovery is on its way to the launch pad in Cape Canaveral, Florida this morning. NASA has scheduled liftoff for Discovery's 39th and final launch for February 24th. The shuttle was originally set to launch last November, but has been delayed by a leak and cracks in the external tank. Well, nearly a third of the country is preparing for the worst this morning. Just check out the whiteout conditions right now in Oklahoma City. This is part of a growing winter storm. Meanwhile, cities like St. Louis, Kansas City, Milwaukee, and Chicago are bracing for upwards of 20 inches of snow and ice. We'll have the latest on that storm throughout the morning, and of course, there will be continuing team coverage ahead on Good Morning America. Laura, back to you.
Thanks, Evan. Well, this morning.
Sunday, guys.
All right, thank you, Dave. Well, up next, new jobs headed to the Low Country. We'll tell you where.
Plus, the one business that can't wait for Super Sunday. Straight ahead, your ABC Money Scope.
I love shopping.
Morning, Charleston.
Good morning, Charleston. It's Tuesday, February 1st. I'm Evan Kelly.
And I'm Laura Harris here with meteorologist Dave Williams. And Dave, it was a little bit soggy yesterday. Today it looks a little bit calmer, but what are we going to expect after all this snow and everything else going on in other places?
Well, the one problem I noticed this morning is that there is a little bit of fog out there early today, so folks may want to allow themselves a little extra time to get to work with some patchy fog. Here's a look at what's going on live pinpoint Doppler radar. Otherwise, it has dried out a little bit. We're not looking at any rain right now on Saturday and into Sunday, guys.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, Boeing is gearing up for a big day at its North Charleston facility.
Yeah, just hours from now, a symbolic piece of steel will be raised, and some of Boeing's higher-ups are in town to see it.
ABC News 4's Josh Cassio is there live in North Charleston, letting us know exactly what's going on. Josh, good morning.
Good morning, Josh Cassio, ABC News 4.
All right, thank you, Josh. Well, people who rely on Medicaid in South Carolina are waking up to big changes this morning. The state Medicaid agency is scrapping adult dental and vision services starting today. It's all in an effort to deal with the state's massive $228 million budget shortfall. The agency is also cutting a third of its home health care visits to save money. Meanwhile, Republican lawmakers are joining up with a South Carolina senator's fight against the newly passed health care law.
Every Republican in the Senate has agreed to Coase was seriously hurt.
A bank robber is on the run and cops are asking for your help. Somerville police are trying to identify the man who held up the First Citizens Bank on Trolley Road on November 23rd. They say he's about 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighs about 150 pounds. Witnesses say he walked into the bank and demanded cash, then took off in a white work van. Police also say a dye pack went off when he fled. Well, new this morning, major developments in the Zara Baker death investigation. She was the 10-year-old little girl whose remains were found in Caldwell County, North Carolina, back in November.
Police have turned over thousands of pages of files and evidence, including interviews with her father and stepmother. Dave Faherty has more on what this move means for the case. Charged in Zara's death.
The Johnny Dodds Improvement Project is affecting more than drivers. It's also affecting mass transit. One local councilwoman wants to improve car-to-bus stops along the Highway 17 corridor. She says the town needs to make it a priority to have nice bus waiting areas for its citizens.
I think it's important that we have...
Page says it's important for the town to be proactive. We're following this story and we'll let you know where it goes from here.
A traffic alert to remind it wraps up tomorrow.
Well, chances are many of you have kids, and we all know mealtime can be a challenge. So how can us parents get picky eating children to try healthy, nutritious foods? Mina Ray shows us one mom's tactics to tackle the issue.
How about red pepper?
And some other good tips here. Take the kids to the grocery store with you. You can actually let them pick out the fruits and veggies themselves. Also have them set the dinner table. That should get them more in the mood to eat, perhaps.
I guess.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's
I remember,
tough, though.
But when my mom used to take us to the grocery store, it was a nightmare because my sister and I would just...
Yeah, that's a
Where
tip
did that
that
come
I've tried,
from?
and yeah, and it's
Where did that
always
come
end up
from?
with things that are not so healthy.
There you go.
Things in boxes.
I don't know.
With characters.
All right, well, here's a preview of what's happening in sports with John Nugent.
Have a great day, everybody.
All right, thank you, John. I just find it odd that they always videotape themselves coming off the plane.
I think it has to do with the fact that it's the Super Bowl, and it's like, I need to chronicle everything that's happening.
All right, okay. Well, up next in the Buzz, an adult film star opens up about Charlie Sheen's latest wild night.
And Super Bowl Sunday commercials will give you...
All right, welcome to the Morning Buzz. An adult film star is talking about the two-day party she says led to Charlie Sheen's collapse.
Casey Jordan appeared on ABC's His Mansion.
Okay.
I don't know, coming out of the woodwork, all these people saying things that might have happened. Well, a 30-second spot in this year's Super Bowl will run in nearly, just like $3 million, but with more than 100 million fans expected to tune in, competition for those slots is almost as fierce as the playoffs.
That's right, yeah. John Berman is here with a sneak peek at some of the funniest that made the cut.
We are not doing it.
Sweet mother.
Always a pleasure.
Looks funny. All right, well, stick around. We've got your morning headlines coming up next.
News 4's Good Morning Charleston.
Good morning, Charleston. I'm Evan Kelly.
And I'm Laura Harris. It's being called massive, huge, and possibly deadly.
That's right. Nearly a third of the country is on storm watch this morning. Jim Spellman is live in Oklahoma with the latest on what could be an epic winter blast. And of course, we've been following this all morning. Let's check in with him now for the very latest. What can you tell us, Jim?
Tomorrow, guys.
That sounds good. Thank you, Dave. Well, it's been a busy few weeks for South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley.
And we're told she'll be back at it today. The governor plans to hold a press conference this afternoon.
Meantime, Governor Haley continues to add to her cabinet. The governor has named Chad Waldorf as chairman of the Board of Economics Advisors. Waldorf, the co-founder of the Sticky Fingers restaurant chain, was previously vice chairman of Haley's transition team. He also worked on Governor Sanford's as a deputy chief of his staff for 2 years. A Somerville man is in custody accused in the death of his girlfriend's toddler. 20-year-old John Weaver turned himself into the sheriff's office in St. George Monday. He's charged with homicide by child abuse, along with the woman police say was his girlfriend at the time, 19-year-old Amber Lynn Brackey. Autopsy results show the child died of a head injury. Weaver is expected before a bond court judge tomorrow. Well, we're getting an up-close look at the North Charleston cop police say drove drunk and crashed his own cruiser. The Highway Patrol says Nicholas Loma was found in a ditch off Bennett's Point Road in Colleton County around 1:30 Saturday morning. The North Charleston Police Department released a statement about the arrest yesterday saying, quote, effective January 31st, 2011, Nicholas A. Loma is no longer employed by the City of North Charleston Police Department. Mr. Loma was employed with the department since June 2008.
A man is recovering this aid.
If you've noticed a lot of smoke in the air recently, you're not alone. The South Carolina Forestry Commission says there were 114 wildfires statewide this past weekend alone. More than 540 acres burned, including a large patch of land in Colleton County. The fire was enough to cause nearly $100,000 in damage. Officials say burning debris led to most of the fires. Well, it's a first for the Palmetto State, turning animal waste into a source of renewable energy.
You could call it a match made in. The methane-powered machine in Gaston, South Carolina will reportedly produce enough electricity to power 90 homes a day. Wow.
Okay.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, definitely. Very interesting. Well, coming up, all new at 6:30, saying goodbye to a hero.
The service finalized.